the 53-man roster, the initial one is set. I went through and looked at it, did some hard counting yesterday, okay? You realize their initial 53-man roster a year ago compared to the 53-man roster right now, 30 of the 53 players are different. That is significant.
Now that you say that, it makes perfect sense, does it not, as well?
Yeah.
I mean, you think of the 2024 draft class and how many guys from the 2024 draft class there are going to be here, and then the 2023 draft class as well. It makes an awful lot of sense that they have this kind of turnover. This is a young team that's getting younger.
Yeah, and right now, I'm looking at that as a good thing. I mean, you don't at a certain point, like I don't know what the Chiefs' numbers are. That's the standard you're trying to reach, right? I'm sure the Chiefs aren't switching over 57% of their roster year after year. They're still switching some over. It's the NFL. But that's significant. I mean, that's more than half your team is different from basically going into last season to going into this season. But they won 4 games last year. Like it's a good thing right now that they are able to put together that sort of turnover, especially when you look at some of the players that were here that they kept from year to year. I mean, those are some pretty significantly good players like Budda Baker and Kaiser White and some of these guys. Kyler Murray wasn't on the 53-man roster initially last year because he was hurt. So there's some caveats mixed in there. But, yeah, that's a 57% turnover from one year to the next. And it should be that way right now.
Yeah, you're right about that. You know what's interesting? Some of the observations from the cut downs from across the National Football League. There was a guy named John Heffling, of course. He's a writer for USA Today. Wrote this story, Luke, said 10 most surprising roster cuts from NFL teams as they cut down to 53.
Okay.
10 most surprising. You know what his first one was? Desmond Ridder.
Well,
I mean,
that's
that totally got my attention.
I'll go one step further with that. Yes, surprising, but also not so surprising that somebody else picked him up because he is now on the Cardinals practice squad.
He's on the Cardinals practice squad, I know.
And I'll throw this out there too. According to Gambo, Michael Carter is signing back with the Cardinals practice squad as well.
Oh, nice. I love that. Hey, Johnny, keep that stuff coming, okay?
So that worked out pretty well for the Cardinals. I feel like Michael Carter is better. He's better than just, I don't want to say just a practice squad player, but but at the same time, I mean, from the team perspective, you got to keep all 5 of those running backs, and you didn't have to use 5 roster spots.
That is incredible. It really is right now. You will have to wait and see how that whole thing shakes out because, you never know what other moves might be coming, what other moves could be corresponding right now to this, but I thought it was interesting, Desmond Ridder. I thought Kadarius Toney as well getting cut, the wide receiver from the Chiefs. That really surprised me. And then you know what happened with Ernest Jones, the inside linebacker.
They pulled it off.
They pulled it off, Luke. What did they do?
They did what we were talking about yesterday with Desmond Ridder, right? Of like, I guess we'll just cut this guy. And then somebody was like, hey, we'll give you something. Oh, okay.
That's what it is right there. We're going to make this announcement. We just, we're going to cut Ernest Jones.
Yeah.
Ernie. We're just going to go ahead and we're going to cut him.
We're going to put him out there. Carolina can pick him right up.
We haven't really cut him yet, but we just thought we were going to make that announcement that we're going to cut him right there, and then the line forms.
When that works, I always just picture like one GM around the league being like, what? Give me the Rams. I don't want him going to Carolina.
And I will tell you this. When I saw this yesterday, when I saw this coming down with Ernest Jones, the first thing I thought of is, well, the Arizona Cardinals only kept 3 inside linebackers.
Yeah.
Okay, here it comes. Because Ernest Jones, once again, we're talking about a guy that is a team captain, was a team captain for the Los Angeles Rams. He was a starting inside linebacker, and I will also say this. He had some ridiculous amount, I think it was 170 tackles last year.
That's absurd.
And 4.5 sacks. He's one of the best inside linebackers in terms of getting to the quarterback and blitzing. One of the best inside linebackers in the game. He's got a knack for this kind of thing. So that really was shocking to me, but they actually pulled the trade off with the Tennessee Titans after they announced They were cutting Ernest Jones.
Can I speculate wildly and irresponsibly here for just 1 second?
No.
Okay,
But
I'm going to.
I'll listen to it.
If they kept 3 inside linebackers initially, Chris Barnes is back, okay? Is it possible they were like, Ernest Jones is out there, we'll just pick him up on waivers? And then Tennessee's who got him. The Cardinals had waiver priority over Tennessee, but Tennessee stepped in and made a trade. So maybe the Cardinals were like, all right, we'll just take Chris Barnes back.
Yeah. There's a possibility, I guess. I don't know.
Or maybe they were going to keep Chris Barnes all along, but they were like, maybe we can get Ernest Jones.
Yeah.
And in addition, have 5 inside linebackers. Either way, Tennessee jumped everybody by making the trade, which is exactly what the Rams wanted.
Yes, there were a couple other too. To me, Mike White getting cut from the Miami Dolphins as well. He's a guy that has been a backup. He's viewed as a quality backup. He's flashed, of course, in his career a little bit between, I would say, December and January 2022 and 2023. He actually played a lot and flashed a little bit, so I was a little surprised nobody picked up Mike White. Have you heard that yet?
I haven't seen him get picked up yet. There was a lot
Again,
of...
Malik Willis was traded.
Yeah. Not only was Malik Willis traded, but there was a lot of... Look, I don't want to say like amazing backup quarterbacks, but there were guys out there that you would think might be a little more serviceable to a team as a backup. I mean, Desmond Ridder was out there, and the Cardinals were able to get him back on their practice squad. I haven't really seen a lot of these quarterbacks get claimed. And look, Desmond Ridder didn't have an amazing camp. I know he had a rough year last year. I'm not saying that this is like Aaron Rodgers in waiting.
Yes.
But it just, to your point, that they were able to get something for Malik Willis, and then all these other backups just basically went through waivers.
So there's another guy out there. Could the Arizona Cardinals be interested in this guy right here, Jermaine Ifedi? Jermaine Ifedi. Offensive lineman right now. He can play tackle. He can play guard. He's from the Cleveland Browns, getting cut from the Cleveland Browns.
Well, if anybody would know him.
And you know where I'm going with that right there. There's something that my radar picked up. If there was a guy that maybe the Arizona Cardinals might be interested in, maybe it's Jermaine Ifedi. And the reason why is because depth, I think, is an issue for the Arizona Cardinals offensive line.
Did you see where your boy Trevor Nowaski went?
No.
Okay,
No.
Guess a team that would pick up Trevor Nowaski based on what we saw.
Okay. Oh, no. Wait a minute. The Ravens?
Close. Detroit.
Detroit. No way.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
he's going to.
He's
you
going
know
to
what?
Detroit.
Yes. As a matter of fact, he was there, was he not? I'm just totally pulling this off the top of my head right now.
You saying he was originally there?
Yes.
He's the only Cardinal that I see so far that they let go that has been picked up somewhere else. They've been pretty fortunate.
He's an NFL player.
Yeah.
Trevor Nowaski. And he's got a great name, Nowaski.
The Cardinals have been pretty fortunate in the sense that they were able to keep Desmond Ridder on the practice squad, which it does help to have that third quarterback. And that's, I know, again, Desmond Ridder's this is not Patrick Mahomes. I get that. But when you start looking at other teams' third quarterbacks, I'd rather have Desmond Ridder. So you've got him. They're able to get Michael Carter back on the practice squad, it sounds like. That's shocking to me. And they were able to get Chris Barnes back on the team in some capacity too. So now it doesn't look quite as surprising what they did yesterday. Those are probably the 3 most surprising-ish moves, and it seems like they're going to be able to hold on to all of them. So that worked out pretty well.
Thanks for watching Wolf and Luke. Tap to see more and click the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.